Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series 1987. The 18th of April is the episode for today. Brian Adias and Steve Simpson kick us off, and that is certainly not a typical match. Adias, obviously, the guy who they've been pushing quite heavily. We do kind of see the nature of the World Class Foundation changing. Dingo Warrior still here, although not here too much longer. He's in the WWF by the summer of '87, so he's on his way out. Simpson still managing to be a major, or at least moderate, nature of this area. And Adias has been around for quite a while now, back as a heel for several months. Adias breaks the match down into trying to use power early, trying to go in the direction of overpowering his man, and doesn't get everything he wants out of that. Uses a hammerlock to gain advantage, and goes on the offensive on the arm of his man for the next several minutes. They trade arm bars and arm locks for several minutes. Basically a rowboat attempt by Simpson. Adias takes him back down into the headlock, and Simpson takes him back into the dominant position. Cheap shots in the corner by Adias, and attempted backslide, and then a body slam by Adias. Adias dominating the second half of the match, and then forces Simpson to carry his weight in a reverse headlock. Hits the side Russian leg sweep. 1, 2, 3 on the float over, and he is victorious. Here in the middle of the ring, Bruiser Brody has a message for Gary Hart. Bruiser Brody back, sanctioned in the area. Don't know how this happened. They didn't really go into it. He acknowledges knots on his head from the nature of everybody from Jeep Swanson as Red River Jack, although he says Red River Jack told him about everything. Says he's going to get his hands on Jeep Swanson. Says he's going to get his hand on all Gary Hart's men. Acknowledges wars in World Class before with Abdullah the Butcher and Terry Gordy, among others, and basically hypes himself up as being back in the area. So Bruiser Brody has returned here in April of '87. Then we move on to the Dingo Warrior and Jack Victory. Victory, I don't think, has the wherewithal to handle the Warrior with less than a couple of years' experience, but maybe somebody did. Somebody must have, because they put them in the ring together. Warrior, as mentioned, is going away in a while. Warrior tries to use power early. Victory shows the poise of a veteran. Warrior actually does get some ride time on a headlock with Victory on the mat. Victory uses cheap shots and grinds a knee into the Warrior. Tries to overpower him with blows. Doesn't really get very far as overpowering him, but the Warrior does pick up a victory after a massive elbow drop misses, and then takes Victory to the top rope, and or actually more accurately to the top turnbuckle. Warrior, using his power among other things, gets a vertical suplex, which Jack Victory basically does all the work and falling, and then a clothesline by the Warrior. Looks like he caught him on the jaw, but anyway, 1, 2, 3, Warrior victorious. Up next, Mr. Jeep Swanson, Dusty Wolf. Not a good place to be, Mr. Wolf, and this is your semi-main event. Swanson, of course, involved with Gary Hart and friends. Hart, believes that this is the mercenary that will once and for all get rid of Bruiser Brody. He is wearing camouflage and camouflage face paint. Dusty Wolf cannot body slam the man, cannot get any real offense on the man. Hits a hard clothesline and some choking, by Swanson. Swanson, 350, 375 pounds, big man, and manages to dominate Wolf. We then see a workout video after a victory with Swanson. Swanson working out both in the field and on a heavy bag, crawling army style through the grass, basically implying that he has military training, knocking over bales of hay, speed bag, everything. General workout montage. You'd think they'd leave this for a baby face, but this is not the case. Actually has a assault rifle of some kind in his hand. And then we go to the main event. The Fantastics against the Grappler and Eric Emery. Fantastics, of course, your tag team champions still, and they are given about 10 or 11 minutes here. Fantastics, of course, Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton. Obviously, the Grappler, a mainstay in the area. Fulton up with a dropkick on the Grappler early. Eric Emery, new to the area, but actually near the end of the promotion, ends up taking over the book and is the last guy to keep the promotion afloat, actually. They go to the outside. Fantastic. Slow the match down a little bit. They're still in control. Great to see the Grappler still a major part of the promotion all these months later. Grappler and Emery in their own corner, planning a strategy. Grappler takes the majority of the match, this time with Tommy Rogers. Rogers not backing down. Good double team by the champions, and Emery does most of the complaining for the team. There is a use of brawling on the outside of the ring. Match still not settled. Referee comes back in with about 3 minutes left in the broadcast. The heels do take over the match, and it looks like we may have new champions. That, however, is not the case, as a hot tag made to Tommy Rogers. Rogers comes in, drop kicks, and cleans house. I would say Tommy Rogers has an underrated drop kick. I would also say he's got an underrated vertical leap. Both of the Fantastics in the ring send both men together, and they get reversed, where the Fantastics and the opposite team manage to collide with each other. Attempted double team on Bobby Fulton. However, there is a miscue between Emery and the Grappler, and that leads to the victory for the tag team champions. We are through with this particular broadcast. Top rope splash. Tommy Rogers gets the victory for his team. We'll be back with more right after this.